remember like how much was the concession? Like was it in some percentage or like in figures, if you can recall?
I think it was around $10,000. I can't give up. Like it's like the thing is like it has altered my personality. So everything is now not exactly a problem. It's like a challenge that you have to overcome. Seeing a local and then they greet in a really good manner, and then they see like Indians and they just completely directly just ask like, what do you want?
There has been some notions that you can cover your uni fees or college fees, which is not. It's good at least if you can cover your cost of living.
Like one of the things that I faced personally was like when I got to know like this is my role, these are the expectations. At that time, I was like in a really big pressure because like for me it also like it was the first time like doing that sort of a thing for the first time, right? So like I didn't know like if I would be able to do it or not.
In this episode, Geet has shared his amazing experience of working in Google. Not only this, he has also shared about challenges, valuable career advice. Apart from that, we have discussed about his migration journey from India to Australia. We have also discussed about difference of studying in Australian University and Indian University, and whether he has faced any racism and much more. So watch this podcast till the end and comment down what you feel. Thank you so much for coming on the channel and giving your time. So first, इस क्वेश्चन से शुरू करते हैं. I'm sure audience wants to know like how you get a job in Google and probably what was the interview process.
Sure. Hi, Daksh. It's really nice to be the part of this podcast. Uh, so for the Google job, there were multiple rounds. It started with a self-interview round in which we had to record a video on why customer is important. And then once that was done, we were shortlisted for an online test. That test was mainly MCQ, but it had like various different fields like OS, networking, basically like everything that is there in computer science. After that result, after the result of that test, we were like shortlisted with the interview list. Then for the interview itself, there were like four 3 rounds or 4 rounds. I don't even remember right now. So it mainly started with it was 4 rounds. It started with a short introductory round, and in that one they basically ask the overall profile based question, like if you as a person is suitable for this specific profile. Then for the first round, then they go for the hands-on part. So that involves the coding, that involves SQL queries, that involves databases, operating system commands and stuff. And
do they give you some projects that you have to do some coding on it? Like I'm not from the IT background, so that's why I'm not really sure how these things work.
Sure. So they just share their. There is something called notebook or something, and it's like a shared notepad screen. They will like paste everything there, and it's basically like a Google document. Then like both of us can see it in the real time basis. They give like some problem statements. It can include previously written code, and we have to find bugs in it, or it can be just a problem statement and we have to write the code for it. And similarly it goes for like databases and stuff. And after this round there is another one, that is a rapid fire technical round. That one is They can ask anything while you are answering. They can ask a specific term from your answer. Then while you're answering that, they can again ask something that you're currently answering. And they can ask like really random questions that those questions are sometimes not even like
Relevant.
directly taught. Like you have to logically think on the spot, like what would be the appropriate answer for that. Like
Do you
caching
remember
is.
any random question?
Yeah, like there was one, like I was talking about caching, the various technique that cache is implemented. So for the people who are listening to it right now who don't know cache, so it's basically like storing a few addresses in the memory so that whenever you want something and it's frequently used, they can. The computer doesn't need to fetch it from the source, rather than they can that can directly fetch it
Yeah.
from the address that is stored. So the awkward question was like while I was explaining how the cache is implemented, they asked what can be the disadvantages of cache, and it made me like introspect at that moment, like where the level of the interview that I am in currently. And
Right.
after this, after this round, the last round is managerial round.
Mm-hmm.
In that one, that includes profile based question, personality based questions, and that round is like not that easy. Like people think like now we have completed all the technical rounds, like the managerial round is nothing. It's not like that. Like that round itself is like more is like one of the most learning biggest like learning experiences that I had till now.
What's the difficult part of
And
that level, like that interview part?
sorry, I didn't get the last one.
What's the difficult part of that level, interview level, of the managerial level?
The difficult part, like it's not like difficult as in like it's not completely knowledge based.
Yeah.
That interview is basically like who you are as a person, and
Mhm.
if you haven't figured it out before getting into that interview, it's gonna be like really difficult, because at that time like you will get questions like what will you do in that situation. And
Mm.
then like if you haven't introspected before, like what sort of a person you are, like how
Right.
how do you challenge yourself in difficult situations, and also like goals and stuff. So those things, like these things sound like really basic, but
Yes, it's
when
not.
you're at the, yeah, absolutely.
Right. So after that, then you got the like appointment letter, and then you started. So, but how's the work environment of Google? I mean, because one of my friend used to work in Google, and they used to tell me like it's quite chill. Like the environment they have set up is more of like a home-based feel that you don't feel like you're in an office. So, like, how was your experience?
Sure. So, firstly, I would like to like mention something. Like, you don't get the offer letter directly after the interview. You
Okay.
will get couple of calls from the recruiter. They will ask you a couple of things. They will ask you to send your resume, and in that resume, again, you would be like asked to improvise if there is anything missing, or if they wanted to be in a specific way. Then
Okay.
that resume goes to the board. The board decides whether to hire you or not. Then that board will take into account your whole resume, the feedback from all the interviewers, the test results, the video that you sent, and then they decide if they are gonna hire you or not. And then you will get an informal call that yeah, you are selected now, you will receive an offer letter shortly. And then you receive an offer letter, then you start going to your job. And
Okay, it's a
the
long
work
process.
environment, yeah, absolutely, it took like I interviewed in I think December.
Mm-hmm.
I gave the test in November, I think. So it takes like a month to get to the interview. And one of the difficult thing is like I only had like a week to prepare for the interview.
Okay.
So for that 1 week, the only thing I did was study and the basic life processes. There was nothing else. So it was like the first time that I took my laptop with me to the toilet so that I can't even waste like that 15 minutes of my time because that was too valuable. And um, and it paid off like seriously. Like
Yes, yes.
I am
Eventually,
actually
yes.
serious about it that in that 7 days, like if I even would have like wasted like an hour, it would have resulted in something else.
Right.
And the work environment, I would say it's fine. Like it's really chill. I was able to do couple of like do most of my work in like less time that I was expected to do it in. Rest of the time I used to like hang out, like play pool or like work on some other projects and stuff.
Mhm.
And
Is it similar
also
like that? You have some KPI to meet?
there is
Mhm.
like that basically involves like you need to finish this work in this much period of time. If you finish it before it, then you're free to do whatever you want.
Okay.
And so that is the thing. But like after I left, but I heard couple of things like things keep changing. Like it depends upon the project that you are allocated to, what
Yep.
are the resources your team get. So like if your team has lesser resources than you need, then it might get hectic sometimes.
Okay.
And another good thing about Google was that like if you're eating like and you see someone sitting alone, you can directly sit in front of them, start talking,
Mhm.
and they will talk to you like they like you both of you are like friends for like 10 years or something. That was something that I
Wow.
really liked, that it's like really open.
Mm, that's good. I mean, it won't make you feel lonely or something.
Yep.
That's nice. But what's the biggest challenge of your job? Like, uh, when you see someone that who is working in Google, the common, the most obvious thing would be like, oh my God, he's having like life of his like best time, basically. Like he's in Google, then he don't need to worry about it. So, what do you think? What's the common myth of working in Google?
That is a really difficult question.
I mean, myth, or as in you can say challenge. I mean, anything.
Like sure. Like one of the thing that I faced personally was like when I got to know like this is my role, these are the expectations.
Hmm.
At that time, I was like in a really big pressure because like for me it also like it was the first time like doing that sort of a thing for the first time, right? So um like I didn't know like if I would be able to do it or not. I kept pinging random people on LinkedIn like you are already in this role, what are your day-to-day responsibilities, is there anything that I can prepare before joining and stuff like that. This was first thing. The second thing would be the onboarding. So like we were given a certification that needs to be completed in I think 30 to 45 days,
Mhm.
and that certification is basically 8 month certification in Coursera.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was able to do it, and I felt like really proud about myself that I was able to do it. And then I got to know like the place that I'm in, and also like the confidence that I built, understanding like yeah, I am capable.
Right. Fair enough. And like, what would be your one piece of advice, like, who wants to build a career in the IT sector or who wants to join Google? Like, what would be the advice you would like to give?
A couple of things. Firstly, like the students who are in college right now, who are starting their college, um, like a couple of things would be, firstly, try exploring things. Keep exploring the job positions that there are. I know a couple of my friends who like did a different degree, like mechanical engineering, without even knowing like after mechanical engineering this is the sort of job that you're gonna get. And that would be the like day-to-day activities and the responsibilities. And the same thing happens like even in computer science as well. So
Mhm.
computer science is like um, a really big field. Like there is no standard job that you're gonna get. Like software engineer is just one of the jobs. So there are more jobs: strategic cloud engineer, uh, product manager, business analyst, data analyst, designer, and stuff. So all these jobs can be unlocked through IT or computer science. So they need to explore a lot. They need to understand what they wanna be after
Right.
their degree ends, and be consistent. So the only thing that like the most important thing that I would say like that helped me get there would be to be consistent.
Mhm.
Like the 1 week period that I got for like interview preparation, that 1 week was the result that I was consistent the in the whole BTech like degree that I did previously. So though that 1 week was mostly revision. So at that
Right.
time if you start learning, then I don't think you would be able to like complete everything in that short period of time.
Cool. Okay. But would you get an opportunity to like to move to a next or higher level when you're in Google? Like if you are meeting this criteria, if you're meeting the KPIs, then would there be any chances to go on higher position, like as a career progression?
uh like I personally just know one guy who did that.
Mm-hmm.
That person, I wouldn't take the name,
Mm-hmm.
but the things I heard was like he worked really, really hard. He did a lot of work more than that just was assigned to him. Like he joined as an engineer, but he also helped bringing in clients. He
Right.
helped uh, conducting a lot of workshops. He also helped in like building the products that he was not assigned to. So
Right.
he did like a lot of stuff, and then he became, I think, architect directly, and it's like 3 or 4 levels above.
Okay.
So that I would say like is a possibility, but I wouldn't bet on it that if you do all
Yeah.
those things you would get all the recognition or not. I think it would depend on a lot of factors.
Right. Okay. The next question is like now you are in Australia. So what made you think that you want to leave Google because you're having a good time in Google, as in Google is like one of the biggest brand you're working in. So what made you think that okay, let's leave Google and migrate to Australia?
Um, so there were like a lot of things. Firstly, it was going into a different direction. As I worked, I understood like I was hired as an engineer and mainly worked into product management and engineering management. And when I did that, I realized that this is the sort of work that I want to stay in. Like they don't exactly keep your profile constant. Like that was like the current phase of the project that I was in. So once that phase once that phase ended, then the next phase would be development again,
Right.
right? So I realized that I don't really like doing that, and I wanted to move into the management, so like product management and engineering management. So I thought um, getting a degree that would cover both IT and business would be the best thing. Because if I just take the MBA, then there was something like I might lose the skills that I've learned, right? And secondly, like MBA is like quite generic, so a lot of people have
Mhm.
MBA. So I wanted like a different degree. Then I got to know about like information systems degree. So that includes both IT and business. And
But wasn't it available in
then
India?
uh, like for India, I'm not sure like how things work right now. At that time, I think there were a lot of things you need to prepare for a test. Then you have to wait for like result. Then
Mhm.
even then, like the issues were like I saw the uh, pay package, like even
Right.
the highest after MBA and stuff. So like 25 lakhs and 30 lakhs at max. So in Google, I
Right.
was already above that. So I thought like if
Mhm.
I do this much, then again get back to like that much like of the pay,
Mhm.
and that also like not knowing exactly if I would be able to get into the college that I want, because in
Right.
India it depends on a lot of factors like the test scores, then the number of seats and stuff. So
Yeah.
even if you are the best, then also like there's a chance that you might not get it. And
True.
the degrees as well. So in India, like degrees are like really standard. I think like the one that I wanted, I think, is offered like really less in
Right.
India. Yeah. So then I
So when
explored the international options. Yeah.
when you were like deciding to move to Australia, so did your agent help you in giving options Monash University or any other university, or did you do your own research?
Both actually.
Mm.
We like me and my parents, we went to like a couple of agents. We understood the criteria and stuff about various universities and countries. Then we conducted our own research. We watched a lot of YouTube videos. We contacted a lot of people on LinkedIn. um, we also contacted like the people that we already know to get like the whole picture. And then like there were couple of things that like if I like the degree, then I don't really like the living conditions in some countries, and that made me
For example.
like if we talk about Canada, right? So one of the thing was the scary winters. So I don't really like that much of
Yeah.
snow. So
Yeah.
that was one thing. Like European countries like Germany, Italy, they expect you to learn another language.
Yeah. Then there's
Australia
language
is
barrier.
English based. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like the
Fair enough.
work rights.
Right. So, you finally ended up with selecting Monash University, like which is again one of the best university of Australia. So, how about the scholarship? Like, did you get some scholarship? Being, you got some experience and everything.
I did get some concession.
Mm-hmm.
That was based on a lot of things. The thing that they expect you is to build your SOP in like really good manner, in and the resume as well. For in my case, I worked on a lot of things in my BTech. So I worked on research papers. I do have multiple patents on my name,
Mm-hmm.
and then I worked on a couple of projects. I got an year-long internship before Google, and then Google itself. So these are like a lot of achievements that I got. I even received an award from Shri Rajnath Singh. So that
Mm-hmm.
is Defense Minister of India. So
Yeah.
I think I worked on a couple of things, and my achievement surely gave me the
Help you
concession,
in.
I think. Yeah.
That's nice. So do you remember like how much was the concession? Like was it in some percentage or like in figures if you can recall?
I think it was, I think, around $10,000.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. It's about
And
annual expense, like annual cost of living expense.
yeah, like I think, yeah, a part of it, yeah, a
Yeah,
huge
part
part
of it.
of it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So did your agent help you in building the SOP or like how was it? Like did he give you some samples and then you write it or like how this all concession or scholarship things work?
They actually helped a lot in this.
Mm-hmm.
They firstly understood everything that I did. Then they figured out the best way to put it, and they showed me a couple of SOPs that were selected in a couple of good colleges. And
Right.
then, not exactly with the personal details, but in general, like the details, like the sort of achievements that they showed, the way that they showed it in, and also um, the best way to represent yourself in that way. And then um, but the writing part and framing part, like I did it myself, based on everything like that I got to learn.
Right. But when you were in Google and you got a mindset that you want to move abroad or like something. So didn't you had an option that you can take a transfer from Google India to Google Australia or something employee sponsorship or anything? So did you had any option back then?
uh there was like the thing is, like, opportunities come, but exactly where do uh, they take you,
Mhm.
they like it's like really fluctuating thing. Like there was an opportunity at that time in Mexico, right? So
Right.
at that time I didn't think like Mexico would be great for me. And then uh, even in that case, like then I had to be in the same role. And the thing was, like, the goal is to change the role completely.
Right.
And internally switching, I did think about it, but at the same time I wanted to actually learn about the business first, like how things work. And I thought like a master's degree would be a better way than to
Right.
completely jump into a new role. And then, like, it would be like really hectic because I wouldn't be able to do a couple of things, right?
Right. But like when you were thinking of moving abroad, so did that thought scare you a bit that you're moving to a new country, different culture, like you have to start everything from scratch? So did that thought scared you a bit, or were you totally fine with it?
I would say a bit.
Hmm.
Like, I didn't really care much about like starting everything again, because at that time, like, I was really confident that this is my profile and the difficulties that I have faced till now, and this is like now a part of me that would
Hmm.
stay. Like, I can't give up. Like, it's like, the
Yeah.
thing is, like, it has altered my personality. So everything is now not exactly a problem. It's like a challenge that you have to overcome.
Yeah.
And then the things that scared me were like going away from my friends, and I didn't really know like how people are gonna treat me here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when even I was planning to move to Australia, like some of my friends they used to, or even my family were concerned that they heard some stories about racism to Indians or any other Asian country people. So that's why they're a bit concerned. So was it same scenario with you, or did you face anything, any racism or any indirect commentary or anything?
Here I do feel like biasness in some manner. Like, I like to play pool. So whenever I go there and I see a couple of locals playing, and whenever I ask so it's like around 7, or like around 7 out of 10 times they would say like no, we would just want to play by ourselves and stuff. So this, and other than that, like going in a restaurant and see um, like people like having a different behavior, like seeing a local and then they greet in a really good manner, and then they see like Indians and they just completely directly just ask like what do you want
Mm.
stuff. So these are the things like I think can change here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Let's talk about the student visa process. As in, if you can recall, like what sort of documents you provided for your admissions and student visa.
um I'm not really sure at this moment. Like I think there were a couple of them. So
Mm-hmm.
my educational credentials, like certificates, the degree itself, the mark sheets of each semester, then like the things that I provided in my SOP, like the research paper that I worked on or the patents that I have on my name, those documents. Then like I had to prove like the income of my parents and that I would be able to manage in Australia. So
Mm-hmm.
that required like a lot of financial documents from
Yeah.
my parents as well.
What sort of financial documents did you provide? I mean, if you were happy to answer.
I think it was income statement mainly, and
Mm-hmm.
it included like a lot of stuff, like the assets that they own, and
Mm-hmm.
also I think bank statements as well. I think.
Yeah,
Other than
bank
that,
statement,
I don't
tax
really
return.
remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. So, Geet, would you like to tell us what's the expectation and reality of studying in Monash University? Now you're into it.
Sure. So I feel like it's a great experience. The quality of education is really good. There are fun events that keep happening, and there is a like variety of events that keep happening, and then there are a lot of events in which you can make new friends. There are even trips that you can join. There are a lot of there are I think there are even researches that you can be part of, and then if they have the budget, I think they would pay you as well. Other than that, there are volunteering opportunities as well, in which you can actually help conduct those events or help them in any way.
Right. So, like, what difference do you feel while studying in Monash University and university from your, like, from India, from Chandigarh? Am I right?
Yeah. So I would say there like there is a lot of difference.
Mhm.
Firstly, um, the I would say like firstly the infrastructure.
Right.
The infrastructure of Monash University, I feel like is the best that I've ever seen till now. Um, Secondly, the people who are teaching you have like really good credentials,
Yeah.
and then the type of I would say the mode of learning
Mhm.
like is split in between like lectures and like the applied class in which you interact with the tutor, and then you actually solve like real time problems, you work on case studies and stuff. So that I think is also like a really good thing here.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel the like the study load I
Mhm.
think is manageable here. I think it was like quite burdensome in my bachelor's, and
Is it? Because what I
yeah.
heard is like sometimes, usually what people say is in India you can, study overnight and get some marks. but here you are pretty much occupied like for the whole month or the semester because you have group presentations, you have assignments, then you have exams at the end. So it's like you are pretty occupied for the whole semester.
For me, like s- it was almost the same in bachelor's as well. That there were classes, there were assignments, there were tests, and then the like I was mainly talking about like the timetable and stuff. Like here, like the weekly classes
Yes.
like the number of classes that I'm taking, that is like really reduced. Yeah, I agree that like there are too many assignments and we are occupied most of the time, but at the same time I feel like if you are like really present in the class and you're focusing, then I feel like it doesn't take too much time in the assignments. Like the thing that I felt in one of the semester, like I had a foot injury and I wasn't able to like go to the classes, and like my mental health was affected as well because I was mostly struggling at home doing basic tasks. And at that time I realized like the importance of being consistent, going to classes, understanding the concepts, discussing doubts with the tutors, applying those things in real time basis. So the last semester that I had, this that would be the third semester that I'm talking about. So this one was like really great. I had like almost the perfect grade that I wanted for all.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of my units except one, and that that made me realize like how easy it can be like if you are consistent.
Right. But like, and how's your class composition is? Like, how many are Indians or from China, Pakistan? Like, how's your class composition looks like, as in terms of nationality?
Um, the like it depends upon uh, the the timetable that you make, because
Mm-hmm.
you choose your own classes according to the time that
Yes.
suits you. So that I think plays like a really big factor, because there are classes in which I have seen like most of the people are like Southeast Asian, like Chinese, Singapore, and other countries. There
Malaysia,
are
yeah,
classes in
Vietnam.
which, yeah, and there are classes in which there are South Asians, that includes India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and stuff. So, but in my whole course, I don't think I've seen too many like Aussies, and most of
Yeah.
the people are, I think, Asian, either South Asian or Southeast Asian.
Yeah, locals become minority when you're doing masters, especially.
Yeah, it might be because of the stream as well, because it is
Yeah.
part of IT.
Yeah, even in accounting, like I did accounting, so even in the accounting, there were not much locals. Yeah, because they usually don't do masters. They are happy with doing bachelors and they just keep on working, working, and working. That they have like a different mindset. But yeah, so and you're currently working in McDonald's, am I right?
I left McDonald's recently, actually.
Right.
Yeah, and like I've just landed a new job. Um, I the casual jobs that I worked is in warehouse as well. I worked at
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's, and um, like it was really hectic working there. Um,
That's why I
I
want to know, like, is it manageable for you? Like, is it managed to both ends, as in the studies and part-time jobs together? Because you have to cover, like, you need to cover your expenses as well. So how was it?
um I would say it is like really difficult um, to manage like this type of job, especially when um, like I would say like the number of hours that you're giving to the job like are limited, right? You can give at max like 24 hours, right? So
Yeah.
that is fine, but the biggest issue comes in, like, you need to travel uh, to the place that you're offering you the job, and then um, you need to take a lot of rest. Because in my case, like when I was working at McDonald's, I had done like shifts of 10 hours, and
Mm.
working there for 10 hours uh, is like completely draining, and it's like
Mm.
going past your like physical limit, I think. For me it
Yes,
was.
it's very tiring because that's very fast-paced environment. So you need to be on your toes every time.
Yeah, exactly. And the one that I worked in is the busiest one.
Right. But like, how did you land into McDonald's job? Like, did you drop your resume to different places, or did you apply online?
It was through a personal reference. Someone referred me to the restaurant manager of one of the branches, and he had an opening for the crew member. And um, the job that I have landed right now was also through personal reference. I think for me it had been like really difficult to land a job by applying, because I
Yeah.
applied to, I think, maybe 300 or 400 positions easily. Like, and it includes
Mm.
like variety of positions. I even tried designing, customer service, sales, and stuff. So
But networking does work for you really well.
yeah, absolutely. I think living here requires networking. Like
Yeah,
any
that's true.
any kind of thing would require networking.
But when you're working in Macas, so was it enough to cover your expenses?
I would say, yeah, and there were times like I was able to save some money that I'm not
Right.
including the fee. Like the only I'm talking only about the living expenses, and
Yes, 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 I know. I mean, there has been some notions that you can cover your uni fees or college fees, which is not. It's good at least if you can cover your cost of living.
yeah, absolutely. And there were, I think, only 2 months, 2 months that I saw some savings in my account,
Yeah.
and after that, like where did those those dollars go? I don't even know. And then
Yeah.
when I left, and now I'm like joining in the new company, so now the balance that I have is exactly the same as the savings that I had. So now
Right.
it's concerning.
Yeah, it is, it is, it is. But like, how's your overall experience? Like, since you have moved to Australia, as in, if you want to give some advice or suggestion for anyone who is planning to move to Australia, then what would you say?
like a couple of things. Like, firstly, things change rapidly here. So when I was to come here, the work visa that I was offered was of 5 years, and then after coming here, they changed the laws, and now it's just 2 years, and
Yeah.
3 years for Indians, I guess. And
Mm.
this sort of thing like really bothers me, because like after coming here, spending so much, and then seeing that things can change and it can actually
Yeah.
completely change your life choices, right?
Yes.
And other than that, I would say, like, you need to understand the environment that you need to be in here, that you have to
Yeah.
get a part-time job, like, to manage the living expenses. It's really difficult to get a part-time job, and then managing it is a different level. Then
Yeah.
you have to be like really consistent in your university, because if not, then those assignments would be like really difficult.
Yeah. And
And
especially with your colleagues as well, because eventually you all will be in the same field. So if one of you get a job in one company, then they can refer to you if you have a good relation with them. So that's why it's sometimes it's really important to have good uh, people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think having good people in your life is like a necessity. Whether it's job or whether it's your friends or in general, like even if you're working, even your
Yeah.
manager, like a lot of things depends upon those sort type of situations.
Yes. So are you currently living in a shared house or a room? Like, how's it?
I'm living in a townhouse. It's shared by 5 people. There are 5 rooms.
Mhm. And how did you find this accommodation?
That's again the golden answer of personal reference. So it's like
Yeah.
the dialogue from Better Call Saul that I know a guy who knows a guy. And
Right, yeah. It's again,
yeah, yeah, it's like for like I've seen my friends like who landed the same day that I did face like some difficulty in finding the accommodation at that time, and
yeah.
the rent and stuff is also like rising rapidly.
Yeah.
The recent like if you're getting a decent house, it's gonna be like around 1,200 a month,
Yeah. Because
and
the reason I'm asking
yeah.
is it's get very difficult for students to get a house because they don't have the history. So it's that's why I mean it either through reference or luck, I would say, to get a house.
Yeah, absolutely, and even the like the quality of house and also like these are all the things, and like I've seen people who take like the lease of the whole house and then they again put it on rent, on like higher rent, so that like they can even pay the lease
Obviously.
and also like earn another income. And
Yeah.
yeah, and also like you are expected to live with random people, and then you don't know like how those people would be, how are you gonna synchronize, because the responsibilities would be shared. You have to do the cleaning, cooking and stuff, right? So a lot of things depends
Is it
upon
going
the
all right
people.
with you? Because there has been some incidents where you know actually get involved in some fights with your housemates that they haven't done their responsibility kind of a thing.
For me, it had been quite smooth. We do like um, like all the things on the time, and like even if someone has like a busy schedule and stuff, so we try to like set like 1 or 2 days like Saturday or Sunday that we can do together everything, and then everything can be synchronized, because like if a person is cleaning the kitchen top, so that needs to be done first and then the floor, because then it, like
Yeah,
if it's not, then it's gonna get dirty again. So that's the thing. So like for me it has been going smoothly.
that's good. That's good. Right. I believe we have covered all the aspects of like moving to Australia and living in Australia as an international student because that's the whole motive. At the end, would you like to say anything? Or
um yeah, I would say like coming here is a big decision, and like the things that we talked about today, I think it covers like most of the situations here. And
yeah,
people who are thinking about coming here thinking that they're gonna land, they're gonna get a part-time IT job, they're gonna get their fees covered in the uh, like in the last semester, they're gonna get an intern, like everything. So those things are like hypothetical, and the ground reality is a bit different. There is struggle.
yeah,
Even if you land a job, it's difficult to manage everything. And
yeah.
yeah, at the end, like it depends upon luck, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of doing this podcast is to like witness the reality basically. to share the reality that it's not something that you will get everything in your hand. You have to work for it. So that's the whole point of doing this podcast. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing all your insights, your experience, and I'm sure audience will going to love this. Thank you again for your time.
Sure. Thanks, Daksh. Thanks for having me. It
Thank
was
you.
a pleasure.